episode of Genshin podcast, guys. So yeah, we're gonna be continuing on with chapter 4. So yeah, so let's do this. We're heading to the ship. We have to go up there on the ship. Man, so far we've done a lot of fun. Not a lot, but you get what I mean.
Hello, we're back.
Apologies for the wait, Mademoiselle, and our most important partner. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to what's all so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Phyllis? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney. Both were what you call impossible murders.
The match might be the same person.
Would you tell us a bit more about what happened before? Yes, of course. Many years ago, something called Synth began to gain popularity in the French. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations. Hey! Didn't Sasha, who turned into water, also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion? Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that Synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink things for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety, or lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw his health, my father was compelled to put a stop to Synth's abuse, and called for a complete ban of it.
Thornton's uncompromising attitude encouraged the Sinspender's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Moss became determined to find the mastermind behind the Sins operation, put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning, so he could never get anything out of the dealers. All of whom only stole the stuff, and weren't hidden for the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. And then, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jack. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by sympathies. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jack over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun. And Jack, he was already dead on the ground.
So damn, so you shot him?
It's just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
They kind of have to belong to someone who got this all.
Precisely. It's all been key that I made the connection on. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jack used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Alright, hold on a second, be right back. Alright. And if I got into an argument with Doc.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we are on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Doc was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely to be turned on boss with zero warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not be viewed in one year, as you're in your father's bloodlust, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponents is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, what all has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It will be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes. Get back. Give up on the faith.
Is that indeed what he wished for? Then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? If he managed to discuss anything in the end, this is still here. Thomas the Unfaithful is still his epitaph. And Stevie Rosita is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself. Thank you, Anne.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Marie.
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Jin and the serial disappearance of Kate. But what drove all the tension to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, being selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
What? Holy shit, bro.
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger was passed on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details.
Alright.
But as long as you remain safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Kent and the disappeared victims.
Hey, you're never going to be able to get out that way.
Alright.
As we've seen, Boss actually has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take to what they'll try.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to restrict to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and hiding, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful is still far preferable to losing faith in mother and daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Mademoiselle. The Boss wanted to hand to you was not a carrot box, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he would be exceedingly proud.
Not true. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have done everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. In fact, the amount of confidence he had in me. And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He gave you the choice to live how you want.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. But the way he'd set things up as I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about context knowledge, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Hello? What was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where sin is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we were to proceed, can't we just trying it?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters will be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
In that case, why are those with the Fontana authority?
And you saw one of them dissolve during the Delaney case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
That's true. My father really had no sense.
Wow.
Things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Prince with the disappearances case. You sound like you put a lot of thought into this, Julie.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I spend my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Marie. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me see. One conclusion I came to is that the enemy must be quite familiar with Sina Urasula, or at least have an informant at it here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reaction of the pit vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Paul, Sina Urasula's senior advisor.
Huh? Plural?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss pretty well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could got to avoid capture this whole time.
Oh, wow.
There's someone else writing too. Marcel, the head of confrérie of Gabrielle.
Uncle Marcel.
Who is this? Concierge.
He's a guild in Poisson. The boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now, one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the Spring Stealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
Wow.
The final suspect is Fury, the man responsible for coordinating information between Tina Girasula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Fury is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. I think that the enemy we've been fighting all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the Quabbin. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Melissa. You provided us with a lot of great information.
You're so kind, my nephew. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean bearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Steener's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
A real case awaits, my dear partner.
Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Alright. This is Dalt's family. Alright, let's do this shit.
It is sacrosanct. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
So we're basically acting like Ace Attorney slash Danganronpa, so yeah.
Here's your note. Do you read anything tonight?
Hey, nobody's on fire. This is what's going on.
Not bother her for now.
I'm sorry. I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Oh, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Tina Brutus sent us a lot of mail and support. I understood your very unapology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Doc? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly. You don't understand at all. I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closer to you, and to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
If you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to seek death.
I always knew that my husband's mind was on to the other suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the same business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought more out of everything. So when Mr. Powers came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher ups.
He found out about his betrayal? Papa didn't say that exactly. But Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to Kira.
Wait, does that mean?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that the conclusion I eventually came to. This is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Sally had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he followed the trap that killed my husband, he was likely in self-defense. It was impossible for me to hate him ever again.
But Mama, why is Papa so the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man. So why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well,
Things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your Papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Sally, some things aren't as what it seems, Sally. Uh, Hell, it's kind of like similar to like Don't Meet Your Heroes type shit, where sometimes, and in some cases, that's actually true in some cases because sometimes your favorite person, your favorite celebrity, or something like that, might be a nice and good and heroic person on the outside when he's on camera, but off camera, that person could be a jerk off camera. So yeah, it's just crazy. So yeah, like, and honestly, our truth learned that the hard way at the back at the backlash post show. So yeah, because if you know what happened when during a press conference John Cena had in the post show for Backlash, our truth interrupts them and tries to congratulate John Cena on retaining the WWE Championship, only for Cena to AA our truth through the table. So yeah. Yeah, like, it would be truly devastating to see your hero not care about you. Like, it would be devastating and also heartbroken and you might feel betrayed in some cases. So yeah. Hell, that's how some people felt with Cinder, bro. Some people felt like heartbroken and in some ways betrayed. Like, because of what Cinder did to Nonolith. So, I know it's not just her, but also Redacted, aka Red, also got involved in this shit, but you gotta remember, Cinder they was also taking place was also doing this shit. So yeah. Even though she tried to apologize, but sadly the damage is already done. So yeah. And as of now, Cinder hasn't posted anything on YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram since the whole allegations thing. So yeah. She even threw Redacted under the bus so by trying to take the blame away from herself onto Red/Redacted, who, by the way, is supposed to be Cinder's real life boyfriend at the time. So yeah. Wow. So yeah, wow. You might think you putting your own significant other under the bus. Well, if that were to happen, 95% of the time it would lead to a breakup. 95% of the time. So yeah. And hell, Cinder basically gaslighted Nautilus, uh, a commission artist, to only work for her. She didn't explicitly, her and Red didn't explicitly say it, but but you can tell that there's indications of them not wanting Nautilus to work for other VTubers other than Cinder. So, anyways, I'm beginning to go. I got a bit too off topic, bro. All this talking over this one sentence, bro. So yeah. Anyways, let's continue.
Dad, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world. And you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life. Oh, thank you for everything you told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Oh.
I'm very grateful for what you've done. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination and your speech is really similar.
You really think so? It's the first time anyone said that to me.
Alright.
I'll leave my husband's place to you.
Thank you, Miss Law. And let's give it a try.
Are you okay out here?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. The lab should be nearby. And we should be able to find Jerry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way. So please don't worry.
Alright. And holy shit. Damn. I gotta stop and go. Like, damn. And speaking of, like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about this one when I finish using it. So yeah. Just looking for something. Then I'll go. Alright. Alright. Okay, I'm back. I'm back and better than ever. I'm back. Yeah. I don't even remember what the rest went by, bro. Like I was trying to sing like Eric Bischoff's theme song. So yeah. And also, is it me or does Eric Bischoff's 30 theme song sound like a rip-off of The Undertaker's You're Gonna Pay theme song? So yeah, that's what I think. So yeah, the most recent allegation I've seen is KP and Brony fandom accusing Saber Spark of sexual assault. So it was later found out that they accused him without any significant evidence, without any evidence, and that it was just a hearsay. It turned out that the whole sexual assault case is not true. So yeah. So basically, KP and AKA I love Kim Possible a lot, and Brody fandom basically accused Saber Spark over an allegation that never happened. Wow. And you could tell they was only doing it for attention, bro. Like, but this is not the way to get attention, yeah, guys. That's not the way to get attention. Accusing someone over something serious, only to find out that the whole thing was fake, is not a way to. That's not how you get famous, bro. I'm trying to show you that people on fucking social media slash the internet will go to desperate measures just to get famous. Say, yeah. Like, that, that's not the way, that's not the way to do things, bro. And I have a lot of respect for Saber Sparks for actually pulling them out, pulling the allegations fake. And that was actually a first. That's the first time accusing someone of something being the bad guy. In this case, KP and Brony fandom say, yeah, they're being the bad guys essentially, since they faked an allegation. So yeah. Yeah, and I just found out about this whole thing today. So yeah. Talk to this dipshit.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the opera house. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. Something that dramatic? I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen this case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. We knew that we would see a few gunshots ring out right after. My first reaction was that Mr. Callis' life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hand. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed John. But I never really bought that explanation.
reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guard, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, did you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
Very
From
possible.
his analysis perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he could also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jack, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us?
I don't know.
He didn't even want to fix the aura treat machine. He chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the court? After seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, the Luke told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callis' honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis being faithful at the best has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis' trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Sina Jerusalem. I live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. He'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Sina deserve to know the truth as well.
Alright. Okay. Okay, so I don't even know what the fuck to say. There he is.
Hey, Jerry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I heard that you knew quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guard, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to walk home because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, some of you have been called back to the city already.
Where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of walk home. Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Sina di Rasula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit chat. Are these two friends of yours? You think some formal business?
Oh, yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Lily's case and my father's may be related. We are trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved in the water, right? But I also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Bartimaeus?
What am
Of course. And without them, I couldn't possibly handle Boston on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Bartimaeus in the city.
I see that smirk, bro. I see that smirk. You're suspicious, bro.
So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Alright. Fuck, I missed. Damn, I missed the fucking trash can, bro.
Let me think too highly of my ability. Dispassion method is very different from controlling them.
Yeah, I try to throw my fucking empty bottle in the fucking garbage, and then it missed. Damn. I'm no Jalen Brunson, bro. I'm not. Sadly. Hell, I suck at fucking basketball, bro. Like, I suck at playing basketball, bro.
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders and carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef will just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my partner. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it secret. So I can promise you, those mecha will definitely try this meeting. They're certainly not cheap. So whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, the think business is definitely profitable enough to afford this.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Nadia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so if some finds me, you need any support from the guards.
Alright.
I'll see what I can do for you as soon as you're feeling when it comes to guard stuff, but don't go advertising it to everyone else.
Let's go down there. Contact Marcel.
Hello, how may I help you? I'm here to see my son. Could you please let him know? You can just say Nadia's looking for him. There. I will let him know right away.
It's going well. What's up? What's the hood?
Nadia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as strong as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, we're at the Opera
there was Nadia to see the message now. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed her marvelous lucidness. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Caroline doesn't want to become a top of Jeffrey.
Hypocrisy is just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theater.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case, by the way. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Arameus by some unnumbered Gardener. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. You were protected?
Yeah, you helped us, Navia.
Relax. These things are heating up again. The peace that Carrot sought for years will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Nadia, Poissons will always remain safe haven. If you're scared, you can always turn to them. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the Mass Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, I hate catching up with you, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that thing. So I was out and about the whole time, making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
It's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need more. All my wealth comes from Carrot's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clean his name.
Next one part, Marcel.
No. Why do these kinds of things happen to the kind of people?
Wait, notice this. Oh, sorry. I just had to press. Sorry, I had to press it. Just these details.
Now it's time for a work. We talked to all three subjects. Really based on our conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I guess because, yeah, none of them really stood out as suspect. Hidden in plain sight, huh?
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
What is to be done?
Doc more.
Ah, you're right. Well, I'm asking that how did they ended up with the body because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Brock's family members, he already told them that he had been discovered and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the Synth boss to kill my father. As he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, that's why with the first shot?
Oh, Doc.
So? And why is that?
Could he guarantee the safety after killing Callus?
Dude, actually, that seems you get control for murder. I want to have completed it here to be of no more use to Bob.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. The place, Doc, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial sea water was revealed.
You think, even then, that we follow this into the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? The
What?
Rock? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Brock. But as Senior Bureau 2's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much need when it comes to finances.
Are you saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly, he can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Maybe it was someone else. Diary.
Thierry, you
Oh,
say?
Thierry.
Huh. It is possible that he figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use, but it didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of campaign under wraps.
Yeah, I actually super get the mecha to be able to prove it with a simple test of the guy give it to him. If the mecha is taken from the blood, it's pretty easy to find out where in the how that happened.
Marcel.
Uncle Marcel? His father did really trust him, and they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Doc. And with funds from the Conferees, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of moral and energy to fight his own synth business? What could it be?
I think. I'm not good at this shit, bro.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Wow.
Maybe there's other something? Maurice didn't know about the people turning into rioting when he narrowed it down to these things, did he?
Maurice has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Phoenix internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate him, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
It's someone who's very close to you after all.
Well, we still have another tough card on top of all the theorizing
since production state.
Yes, Malou did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navi, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guard? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Ernie just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that Facebook specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Child?
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah. We know him. Maybe we know him too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind Sirius' disappearance case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it will be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder for them to clear Mr. Callis' name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Split up.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Ernie's while I go investigate that place.
Just as expected of my partner. In this is a trial about the serial disappearances case. The culprit's attention will be focused on Arania, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll install them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Here's me.
Who has you? Just like you have I doing in trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Oh, Malou, Silver, when did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson. Figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arania. Hold on, traveler. I'll see you at the Opera House.
Alright.
Now that Navi all set up for airing next, please get out with your first. There were people who've already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Wait. I want to get that checkpoint though. So yeah. Right, that's more like it. Wait 1 second.
Ad Astra Abessa. Thank you for completing today's commission. Here is your reward. Okay.
Okay, so in terms of quest, still gotta wait for this one. So yeah. Wait, what time is it in the game? Oh, damn. So yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. So yeah. We're gonna continue this in the next episode, guys. Oh, see you guys next time. Padre Jesus.